Welcome to episode 378, where I'm speaking with Vaidya Sheena Sooraj about perimenopausal care in Ayurveda. We talk about how there are specific dosha-related changes during this phase of life and how each person's unique constitution influences their experience of perimenopause. Vaidya Sheena gives lots of tips on dietary practices, self-care, and seasonal practices that you can follow to keep your body and mind in balance during this phase of life. So please stay tuned. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. This episode is sponsored by Kerala Ayurveda. Welcome to today's episode with Vaidya Sheena Sooraj, an experienced Ayurvedic practitioner and a key member of the Kerala Ayurveda team. With a degree in Ayurvedic medicine and years of dedicated practice, Vaidya Sheena is passionate about healing and empowering others through Ayurveda. If you're inspired to study Ayurveda, deepen your knowledge based on ancient texts, and practice with expert-led certification programs at Kerala Ayurveda Academy, then start the new year by investing in your future. Enroll today and save $100 with the code ELEMENTS100. That's ELEMENTS100. Learn more at keralaayurveda.us/courses, and I'll put all those links in the show notes. Welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. And today I'm very happy to welcome Vaidya Sheena Sooraj, who is Kerala Ayurveda's Chief Clinical Officer and a core faculty member. She is an experienced Ayurvedic practitioner from Kerala, India. Coming from a family with a strong Ayurvedic background, she developed her passion for Ayurveda at a young age, as her grandfather was a well-known Ayurvedic physician and astrologer. She is an active advocate of Ayurveda and is an experienced public speaker. Her objective is to guide her clients to achieve health naturally and continually add value to her profession through initiative, innovation, and experience. Vaidya Sheena, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Colette.
Well, it's wonderful, and I'm excited about our conversation on perimenopausal care in Ayurveda. You know, I've discussed menopause a lot on this podcast and always address perimenopause and that, but to do an episode specific for perimenopause, I feel is so important because it can really span a long time, right? It can be up to 10 years. So I'd love to start, Vaidya Sheena, with, can you explain perimenopause and how it differs from menopause?
Sure, Colette. I think this topic is very important because for the past, 22, 23 years of my clinical experience, what I'm seeing is a lot of women, they're suffering from health issues during the perimenopausal phase. And most of them, they don't know how to fix these issues or how to balance their health. So I thought these informations are very much needed for the community. So to answer your question, Colette, perimenopause. Peri means it's around. So we are not yet there. We are almost approaching. So perimenopause is also known as the menopausal transition. It's the period when a woman experiences physiological changes leading up to her final menstrual cycle. That's the menopause. And this phase begins with mild health imbalances, where the body gives you some indications that, hey, I am in the transition phase now. So you have to start getting prepared for that. So it could be in the form of a mild mood swings or mild psychological imbalances, or some mild irregular menstrual cycles or menstrual issues, then which will be continuing until the menopause is reached. So all based on the person, how much they are paying attention to the body, this transition phase will be. And these transition changes or the transitional imbalances that varies from stages to stages. And since it is very gradual, requiring a balance until completion, it typically begins between the age of 40 and 44. But because of the stress level that women are having and the hectic work schedule, majority of them start experiencing this from the age of 35.
Due to the stress within our modern society now. How does Ayurveda view this transition into perimenopause? Please, talk to us about that.
Sure. So Ayurveda acknowledges the relevances of doshas, the fundamental energy principles that are governing our physiological and the psychological states. The normal menstrual cycle, it has three phases, right? The follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, and the luteal phase. And we can classify these three phases on the basis of the predominances of our doshas. So the first stage is of kaphas. The second stage is of pittas. And the third stage is of vadas. That's the normal menstrual cycle, the phases, phase number 1, 2, and 3, until the menstruation. So the menstruation is a trigger or a spark from the vata dosha. And our three energy principles are having sub-doshas. So vata has 5 sub-doshas. And among the 5 sub-doshas, apana vayu is responsible for the menstrual cycle, regulating the menstrual cycle and eliminating the toxins from the system through feces and urine. So apana vayu is located in the pelvic region, the lower part of the body. And menopause is not a disease. Menopause is not an imbalance. It's Rejo Nivritti in Ayurveda. Nivritti means you had a companion or you are having a companion who started traveling with you from the age of 10 or 12. And once you turn 50 or 52 or 55-ish, the companion realizes that, hey, I don't need to be with you anymore. That's Rejo Nivritti, right? So throughout these years, this menstrual cycle or menstruation was supporting your female system, lubricating your system, helping you, supporting you. And once it's time for the hormonal system to decide that we don't need any menstruation anymore, that's menopause, a pause, a stoppage. But our hormone system, they're still capable enough to support us until we die. That's how our human body system is. So Rejo Nivritti signifies a complete cessation of menstruation, where the chances of dhatu depletion or the tissue depletions are high. As we approach menopause, the body faces challenges since it is a transition phase from pitta to vata. So now you might be wondering, how do we define pitta to vata here? Because when we look at our entire life cycle, we divide the entire life cycle into 3 categories: kapha phase, pitta phase, and vata phase, based on anabolism, metabolism, and catabolism, right? And until the age of 16, according to Ayurveda, we are in the kapha stage. After that, we are in the pitta stage. And once our body is not really capable of doing the anabolism or the sluggishness in the metabolism begins, that shows that we are entering the catabolic phase of life. So here, catabolism, you should not imagine that this catabolism is a destruction. Whereas the body is struggling to maintain things as we grow older. So once we are approaching the menopause, it's a slow transition phase from pitta to vata. Everyone think that vata phase means, oh, I am old. Never. we are never getting older. Maybe it's like body's indication that, hey, it's high time. You have to take care of yourself, right? I will never say that even if you are 80 years of age or 90 years of age, you are a very older person. No, we can stay younger as long as we want, right? But we have to listen to our body. So it's a transition phase from, Pitta to Vata. That's the perimenopausal phase.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for explaining that. And it's great that you really explained those phases of our menstrual cycle from Kapha, Pitta to Vata, and then of the life cycle, the same, the Kapha stage, the Pitta stage, and the Vata stage. And so during perimenopause, are there specific dosha-related changes associated with this phase? We understand that we're all in the Pitta phase, but then of course our individual doshic makeup may have us having different symptoms in the perimenopausal stage.
Yes. It's a good question, Colette. So I already mentioned about rejo-nivritti, which is a natural process, right? Since it is a transition phase, there are high chances of dryness in the system, lack of enough nutrients in the system. That means the tissue depletion. The perimenopausal phase or the perimenopausal symptoms are mainly of Vata energies. According to our sage Sushruta Acharya, the sage Sushruta, Acharya mentioned in one of his textbooks that Rajas, or the menstrual blood, which is the Ubadhadu of Rasadhadu, the first tissue of the body, which is Agneyam. Agneyam means you can feel, you can see the presence of fire in it. And once this is going to end, the menstruation is ending, that shows a depletion in the fire. So that affects our Agni, or our digestive fire, in different ways. And it can lead to some digestive issues, both physically as well as mentally. And this depletion or derangement in the digestive fire can cause metabolic imbalances. Many women, they experience symptoms like hot flashes or night sweats, severe mood swings, the physical as well as, psychological. So the physical, many women, they say that, I'm gaining weight. I'm having a lot of dryness of my hair, dryness of my nails, dryness of the skin, dryness of the vagina. So dryness everywhere. Then irregular menstrual cycles. Sometimes there'll be like prolonged spotting, or sometimes there is a sluggish menstrual bleeding. So these are all like related to the body. Sleep disturbances. Sleep disturbances could be due to the body's imbalances, or it could be related to the mind. Change in appetite. And when it comes to the mind, severe mood swings, mild mood swings to severe mood swings, severe PMS, premenstrual symptoms, depression or anxiety, brain fog or the mental fatigue. These are the most common complaints that women have during this transition phase. These dosha imbalances, if it is very mild and if you're managing it very well at the early stage, they're not going to cause any kind of major impact on your system. Whereas if it is continuing, that can lead to metabolic issues like fluctuations in your blood pressure, elevation in your cholesterol numbers, weight gain, or changes in your thyroid numbers. And many women, they face anemic issues. The main reason is the clogging or the blockages in the system causes heavy bleeding, or that can cause a lot of clots during the menstrual cycle, which eventually causes low hemoglobin numbers. So these are all due to the diminished or the deranged digestive fire, which is like Jatharagni, as well as Dhatu-Agni or the tissue fire.
Okay, thank you so much for that explanation. So basically, we're coming to the end of the Pitta stage of life. And as you said, the upadhatu, or the byproduct of the rasa dhatu, is the menstrual blood. And that the agni is, the fire is subsiding in the body. Is that correct to say?
Yes.
Is less. So the digestive strength of the agni is less. And that's not just our digestive fire in our gut, but also in all the agnis in the tissues of the body.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so as we see that, obviously we all have a unique constitution. And so the symptoms that you just listed, which is great to get that list, it varies obviously depending on our unique constitution and our state of balance going into this period of perimenopause. And as you said, there can be vata, pitta, and kapha, vata being the dryness, maybe depletion in the body, maybe sleep disturbances. And then is it correct to say that with pitta, because it's at the end of the pitta stage of life, that maybe with someone with a high pitta constitution could have an accumulation of heat in the body, just like we get at the end of the summer season, for example?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Prakriti plays a major role
Right.
in phase.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So then that could manifest in the hot flashes, the heated emotions, as you're talking about, and maybe some pitta imbalances in the menstrual cycle. And then, of course, the kapha dosha can, like you talked about, the blockages in the body. And if these imbalances continue, then it could go on to more disorders like the high blood pressure, the cholesterol, the thyroid problems, weight gain, and anemia. And so we're seeing here that a person's prakriti will influence their experience in perimenopause, and that these imbalances can manifest. So it's really about understanding your constitution, your subtle signs of imbalance, and then going into this phase, ideally in a state of balance, right?
Yes, yes, Colette, you are right. Because Ayurveda, this Prakriti concept is unique. It's unique. And it's a huge concept in Ayurveda. Just like Agni. Agni is another unique, subject in Ayurveda, which is like, it's vast, right? We can explain about Agni for years and years, right?
Yeah.
So Prakriti is also, it's like, it's a mystery. Right? It's a mystery. But at the same time, it's so fascinating. Ayurveda teaches us that we are all unique individuals, right? And we are conceived with a unique constitution or a fundamental balance of the energies. And from the time of birth until we die, it's the same. It's not going to change the physical prakriti, right? And that prakriti is not going to harm you. Just like, there is one analogy given in the textbook, like snakes, the poisonous snakes. They have poison in them, but that's not going to kill them. That's for their purpose, their function, right? Our prakriti, many people think that, oh, I'm a vata prakriti and I'm a pitta prakriti, so I will be developing these issues. Never. Once you realize, oh, this is my composition or combination, then the tendencies, affinities, nature, everything will be based on that body type, right? And once we are in this transition phase, like from Pitta to Vata, the body will be naturally having some tendencies based on how much depletion you are having or what kind of personality you are. So if a Vata Prakriti person or a Vata predominant Prakriti person is having a high tendency towards consumption of sweet, like sugar craving or sweet craving, the excessive consumption can lead to Agni Mandya or derangement in the Agni. And then the accumulation of the biochemical toxins in the body, we call it as ama, right? Pitta Prakriti people, they naturally have a tendency towards cold food or cold application. So if it is in excess, what will happen, right? So based on your body type, your tendencies and affinities will be. And if you don't have a control over that, or if you live in a geographical place where Vata is more predominant or Kapha is more predominant, then the seasons also will influence you, right? Mm-hmm. Then the Vata Prakriti individuals they develop symptoms like sensory motor problems, the fibromyalgia, frozen shoulder, aches and pain, then arthropathies, or some psychological disturbances like anxiety, irritability, depression, then mood swings. When it comes to a Pitta Prakriti person, it's like hot flashes, then always feeling warm, night sweats, excessive perspiration, anger, thirst, then short temper. All these are part of their Prakriti, related to their Prakriti. When it comes to a Kapha Prakriti person, they're more prone to develop weight gain issues, excessive sleepiness, lethargy, lack of motivation, lassitude. So these are very common among Kapha predominant Prakriti people. And if you're not hydrating your system very well, that's another major issue. A lot of women, they don't drink enough water. So if you don't hydrate yourself even during this transition phase, that leads to a lot of dryness within the system, and the body may not be able to flush out the toxins, especially apana vayu. So urination, elimination of the stools, all these needs to be maintained. So many women will be developing hyperactive bladder issue, or you're prone to develop constipation or dry stools, or you get burning sensation when you pass the urine if you don't hydrate yourself well. Chances of developing kidney stones or bladder stones are high, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you maintain your system? You have to look at your body constitution and even if it is water, how much you need, how much water you have to drink. Is it just plain water or some digestive teas? So we have to look at our system carefully and seek the help from a Vaidya or for an Ayurvedic healer so that you can control all these imbalances. And then things will be smooth sailing.
Yes, absolutely. And it's really about, as you said, understanding your unique constitution, understanding your makeup, understanding the tendencies of your doshic makeup. And with that education, and it's best to seek professional help, as you say, that then you have this awareness and you're really in tune with your body and you have this awareness of what's happening. Because as you can see, a person's prakriti or individual constitution really influences their experience of this perimenopause phase. And so the key is to understand your unique constitution. First of all, understand your signs of imbalance so that you are in the driver's seat and you're understanding what's happening with your body, because Ayurveda gives us great information on how to manage, right? Our constitution in order to keep ourselves in balance. And I'd love to talk about that now. You've already talked about the importance of hydration, but let's move now on to talking about how we can prepare ourselves for this phase in our 30s and 40s. So if you could cover some of that for us.
Definitely. I would love to share this information so that a lot of people will get benefited with that, Colette. So Ayurveda offers approaches to restore the balance to the reproductive system, contributing to overall well-being during this transition. There are a lot of Ayurvedic practices. So we always say that Ayurveda is not just a healing system. It's a set of principles that you can implement in your day-to-day life, right? So we Ayurvedic healers are guides. We are helping people and we help them to navigate so that they will reach to a place where they can find happiness in the form of good health, right? So we offer Ayurvedic tips or some simple suggestions, and it's a customized science. There is no fixed one protocol for all the clients. We're customizing it, right? As soon as you wake up in the morning, until you go to sleep at night, how your routine should be. That's what Ayurveda talks about. And during this transition phase, it is very important to maintain your routine. As soon as you wake up in the morning, drink a cup of warm water. It could be like 8 ounces to 10 ounces of water. And you can add a few drops of lemon juice if you want, or add a little bit of honey if the water is not so hot. So this will help to flush out the toxins in the morning. Now, do you need to drink the water first thing in the morning, or do you need to wait until you brush your teeth, oil pulling and tongue scraping? Nowadays, the studies shows that you have a lot of good microbiota inside your oral cavity. So if you brush your teeth on the previous night and floss, then during the sleep, you're not eating anything, right? So you're good to drink a cup of warm water as first thing before brushing the teeth. So the good microbiota in the oral cavity will go to your digestive system and you will get benefited with that. Then Abhyanga. Abhyanga means oil application on the body as well as the scalp, head. So if you take a shower, head shower every day, then you can do this every day. Otherwise, if you don't wash your hair every day, then forget about it. Do that once or twice a week. But it's always suggested to apply warm oil based on your body constitution, which is the ideal oil. Choose the right one. Apply the warm oil on the body, do a gentle massage like self-massage, and take a long hot water shower. Ayurveda suggests this to be done every day. But if you have a very busy schedule, look at the schedule and do it at least once or twice a week, right? Because that's the only thing we're doing for ourselves. We do so much for everyone, but how much we are doing for ourselves? That's the key, right? Then when you brush your teeth, like we suggest scraping the tongue. A lot of people, they don't know what's for scraping the tongue. What's the big deal? It actually enhances the taste buds. It cleanses the nerve fibers. It stimulates the nerve fibers because our oral cavity is a junction, right? And it can connect our brain with our soma, like our other body parts. We talk and communicate. So our oral cavity and the health of our tongue is very, very important. We taste our food, right? We enjoy conversations. So there is a huge involvement of our oral cavity in our day-to-day activities, right? Oil pulling. You can choose the right oil. So if you are facing a lot of pitta-related imbalances, go for coconut oil. If you have more vata-related imbalances, go for sesame oil. Or you can go for herbalized Ayurvedic oils for oil pulling. So do that for 60 seconds in the morning, just 1 minute. Why can't you spend 1 minute for yourself, right? And then gentle exercises. So if you don't know how to do yoga properly and if you don't have any guidances, gentle movements are fine. So we always ask people to begin with gentle restorative yoga in the morning after brushing the teeth and taking a shower. Gentle, it should be very gentle. Just like you are taking care of a baby. But if you're a person who is doing yoga every day or you're familiar with yoga and asanas, then according to your system and according to the susceptibilities of the imbalances, you can customize it. But I never recommend to do yoga for 3 hours or 4 hours. So everything should be optimal. Then breathing exercises or pranayama. It's always good to begin with Anulom Vilom, then Nadi Shodhana. Then you can think about other breathing exercises. So better to consult with an Ayurvedic healer. Which one is the best for you? Is it the cooling breath or it's Bhastrika or it's Kapalbhati? Don't try to look at Instagram videos or YouTube videos and practice it by yourself. Please, you have to meet an Ayurvedic healer. So they will guide you. So we call therapeutic yoga. Therapeutic yoga means based on your health imbalances or based on your body type, we customize the yoga poses. And we recommend how much time you have to do for each asana. Then mantras and music, listening to mantras and music, gentle cooling, like soothing music, like meditation music. instrumental music like flute music, then violin. And in India, we talk about, Carnatic music. So there are like ragams. So these are having a lot of healing power. So here to my, in the United States, I suggest my clients to listen to gentle, soothing music, especially in the morning and in the evening. So that will calm down their mind. That can refresh their system. Okay. And then usage of essential oil. So you can choose the right essential oil. You can mix it with your regular Abhyanga oil, or you can put 1 or 2 drops in the pillowcase or roll-ons. So they will be having a healing power which can calm down your mind. For Pitta people, vetiver, that's the best. Then Palo Santo, Ylang Ylang, rose, sandalwood, patchouli. Either you can use a diffuser, especially in the bedroom before you go and sleep, an hour before, with a few drops of this essential oil. So that releases a good aroma. And it's a part of aromatherapy, right? You're not paying any money for that. You're just doing it by yourself. Then before sleep, you can apply warm oil on the soles of your feet and do a gentle massage. Just do it for 5 minutes. So you're pampering your body, right? And when you do the massage, that stimulates the nerve endings, and they will be helping in releasing the good neurotransmitters or the happy hormones. So your system will be happier. And at night, the pineal gland will be releasing the natural melatonin. So you don't need to depend on the melatonin tablets. Your body will be capable enough of releasing it naturally. Then regular exercise is mandatory. You can go for a walk, or you can do biking, or you can go for swimming or jogging. So based on your body type and based on your health, we suggest how much time you need to spend for doing the exercise. And how many times a day? Is it twice or just once? Or do you need to go to the park to do that? Or do you need to go to the gym? So we give all these instructions. Then mantra meditation. So if your body can do this mantra meditation, not everyone is eligible for mantra meditation. So we'll look at the person. Because Ayurvedic healers, we don't look at the symptoms. We look at the person as a whole. That's Ayurveda. So in front of us, it's always a mind-body system sitting, not just an ache or pain, right? Mm-hmm. So we customize it. Then about the Ritucharya. So you asked me like whether it's a good idea to follow some Ritucharya or the seasonal regimens. Of course. I work for Kerala Ayurveda Wellness Center and Academy. So we conduct seasonal programs like Spring Cleanse, Fall Rejuvenation Program. So based on the seasons, we have 4 seasons. And a lot of people, they're prone to develop health imbalances during these seasons. So we get a lot of clients who are in this transition phase, like from perimenopause to the menopause. They come to us and they need some cleanse so that their body will be rejuvenated. So based on each season, based on the predominant dosha, you have to seek Ayurvedic measures to balance your system. Then we offer body work. You can go to an Ayurvedic wellness center and get some therapies done, like body work done. For example, Shirodhara, pouring an oil on the forehead. So this will be relaxing and calming your senses and mind. Then Abhyanga, the proper Abhyanga done by the Ayurvedic technicians with a synchronized massage. Then oil enemas. Oil enemas are very, very beneficial during the perimenopausal phase. And there are other therapies like Pirichil. Pirichil is a royal Ayurvedic massage, and it is good for cleansing as well as for rejuvenating. So there are like many other Ayurvedic treatments or body work that we offer for people who are having perimenopausal symptoms, or even if they don't have any major health imbalances, They just want to embrace the menopausal phase beautifully. So we offer these therapies.
Yes, thank you. And it's wonderful to see this layered approach. It's all about self-care and managing the body and pacifying the doshas, but doing these day in, day out. Even, they're simple things that you can put into your routine. Of course, as you said, they all need to be tailored to each individual, which is really important because, as we know, Ayurveda is not a one size fits all program. It really needs to be tailored. But having this layered approach of the Dinacharya where you're prioritizing your self-care, it really helps to establish you in the self and really helps to pacify the doshas, and particularly the mindfulness practices nowadays to offset the intensity of today's world, right? You talked about the music, which I think is beautiful, and the oiling of the body. There's a reason why Ayurveda brings in all these oiling therapies, because they're so important to, particularly, as you said earlier, there's a data depletion, there's a catabolism happening in the body during this phase of perimenopause into menopause. And so the more that we can rejuvenate the body and support the tissues during this depletion phase, this approach of prioritizing your self-care is so important. And then the Ritucharya, the seasonal regime as well. Ayurveda provides these guidelines. So it's just really about educating yourself on them and particularly getting an approach tailored to you during this time. Now, as we've been talking about, there's no one size fits all, and it's all a very tailored approach. The oils you use, the dinacharya you're doing, the exercise you're doing, how long you're doing it, is all tailored by an Ayurvedic professional. But I would like to talk to you about food and dietary practices. Of course, again, this is very individual, very tailored. But are there any things that you want to highlight in particular? You talked about the necessity of hydration. And also, the tendency towards a lack of fiber in our diet these days, and also good fats, right? So these are probably things that I'm sure you want to highlight, but is there some other factors in regards to dietary support during this time?
Yes, you're right, Colette, because many people, they cut down fat completely from their diet. They either cut down it completely or they overconsume it, right? So it's the extremes. So when people come to Ayurveda, like when they seek the help from an Ayurveda healer, first we assess their body type. And we always say that, proper diet and proper lifestyle, these two are very, very important in any kind of health issue. Forget about perimenopausal phase, whatever health issues they have. These two are very, very important. And to stay as swasthan or to stay as a healthy person, for that person also, the proper diet and proper lifestyle, they are very, very essential. And, I was mentioning about the dinacharya, the daily routine that the client has to follow, including abhyanga, nasya, then, this music, etc., etc. Now, what about diet? Right? We say that our food should contain all the 6 tastes. So we call it as Shad Rasa Pradhanam. All the 6 tastes should be there, right? And how do we customize it? You should not overconsume certain specific taste, especially you are in the perimenopausal phase and you are a particular Prakriti person, right? So first thing is listen to your body. What your body is demanding. Then analyze how much hunger you are having. What's the status of your Agni or the digestive fire? We say that you have to eat when you are hungry. Now people are behind yo-yo diet or, intermittent fasting. Are you able to do that? Are you hungry? Are you really hungry or ravenously hungry or not so hungry? So the hunger level varies, right? So consistent meal timing is the key. So you have to decide what time is ideal for you to consume. If you're believing in intermittent fasting, But your body is saying, hey, I'm hungry. I'm very, very hungry. Do you want to give me something? So don't tell that, hey, body, I'm not giving you anything because I'm following the intermittent fasting. No, you have to provide something which is very, very healthy, but not very heavy, right? So we say that consistent meal timing and consume the food when you are hungry. So when you are going to have a consistent meal timing, your body will understand that. Then your body will be ready. Hey, I'm hungry. Please give me the food, right? So light breakfast, moderate lunch, and a very light dinner. And what you need to include during this perimenopausal phase? You can include a lot of fresh fruits. Fresh fruits, for example, berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, mulberries, strawberries. Berries are the excellent source of antioxidants, and they have flavonoids. They support the female reproductive system. So include berries in your diet and dairy products. If you're sensitive to dairy products, you can avoid dairy products. But we always recommend buttermilk, which is a good source of natural probiotics, and ghee. Ghee is the cultured organic ghee, which is an Agni's friend, which will never cause any kind of imbalances. It should be cultured. Not all the ghee is good, but cultured. But if you have severe indigestion or a lack of appetite, you can talk to your Vaidya. So your Vaidya will help you to correct your gut metabolism. Then you can incorporate ghee in your diet. Then green leafy vegetables. How much you need to consume? So include green leafy vegetables along with lentils. Can include sprouts like sprouted legumes, steamed veggies, then soups. So I always suggest my clients to drink a bowl of soup for dinner. So you'll get enough water content, plus it includes a lot of vegetables, it's filling, and you don't feel like heavy while you go to bed. And morning bowel movement will be excellent. Urination will be excellent. So incorporate soup in your diet. It's not like a very heavy soup, but basic, like with a lot of vegetables and lean meat, especially for dinner. Then nuts, soaked nuts. So if you are facing bloating issues, many women, they face bloating issues, burping, flatulence, then acid regurgitation during the perimenopausal phase. So if you're very sensitive to certain food stuff, try not to consume them. Even if it has a lot of benefits, try not to consume them much. Soak the nuts. And especially when you consume almonds, you have to blanch them, remove the skin. Walnuts are excellent source of antioxidants, and they're very good for the female hormone system. And even for men, for the prostate health. Soak them. So when you soak them, they are lighter and it's easy for the gut to digest it because it has natural oil in it. Then dry fruits such as raisins, good source of iron. Prunes, if you face constipation issues. Dates. Then figs. They're also very good for the good bowel movement, and they can replenish your dhatus or the tissues. You can soak them and include it in your oatmeal, or you can consume them as such, or you can make a smoothie, like a plant-based smoothie with the plant-based milk and berries, then maple syrup, then spices, then these soaked nuts and dates or dry fruits, which is like super yummy and it's nutritious. It can be your breakfast, right? Then add spices in your cooking. I'm not saying that you have to make your food spicy, but you have to add sufficient amount of spices in your cooking. For example, cumin, coriander, fennel, then dry ginger, fresh ginger, then cardamom, saffron, then ajwain or cadam seeds, cinnamon, nutmeg, based on your body's requirement, you have to customize or tailor these spices so that your body will be enjoying the aroma released from or the flavor released from these spices, and at the same time, they enhance the digestive fire. Golden milk. If you can handle or if you can digest dairy, 1 cup of boiled milk with spices such as turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper powder, a pinch of nutmeg powder, saffron, rose petals. Sounds yummy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good supplement that you can have it before sleep. So then, it can release the natural melatonin and kapha and tamas, the tamo guna of the mind and the kapha energy, they blend. So you will sleep like a baby. So this is one good source, one good drink that you can have before your sleep. But make sure that the milk is boiled with spices. Then microgreens. We suggest people to include microgreens in their diet. Then salads. If you have a lot of vata imbalances, minimize salads or have a proper salad dressing with olive oil, lemon juice, and spices. And drink at least 3 to 4 cups of digestive teas like CCF tea or dry ginger tea or fresh ginger tea. According to your gut, you can choose the right spices to make the tea. Or buy some tea bags, especially if you have, sleep issues or anxiety or depression, mood swings. Have a cup of rose tea after your dinner or a cup of passion flower tea. Or you can have lemon balm or lemongrass tea, dandelion tea. So these are the good sources or the right tea suggestions for those who are having psychological imbalances. Then healthy snacking, because many women, they have the habit of grazing in the kitchen, searching for chocolates, or searching for, granola bar. So have healthy snacks like, you can have sesame seeds and dried coconut flakes and some walnuts, and add a little bit of dry ginger powder, honey, and a little bit of jaggery, and a pinch of ground cinnamon or a ground cardamom. Mix it well. So this is a healthy snack, sweet, but it's not a refined sugar, based sweet. So stay away from refined sugar as much as possible. Processed food and all-purpose flour. Have healthy flour in your diet. And don't try to start doing a work like, sitting job. If you have a desk job, don't sit soon after a meal. Just move. So 10 minutes of movements, not like doing exercise, but you can do the cleanup in the kitchen or just move or use a standing desk. So that will help to prevent any bloating. Then Ayurveda offers a lot of, adaptogenic or herbs that are rich in phytoestrogen. For example, shatavari, ashwagandha, then licorice, guduchi, yashtimadu. And there are some other formulations like amalaki rasayanam. It is the main ingredient is Indian gooseberry or amalaki. It has vitamin C and iron, and super yummy. It's super yummy, and it has natural sugar in it because we add jaggery when we prepare that. So talk to your healer, talk to your Vaidya before you buy this product. So there are other, Ayurvedic herbs like Shankapushpi. You can make a milk decoction. So they will support your hormone system. Plus you can do the dinacharya, continue doing dinacharya like Nasya Karma or Abhyanga. So overall, your body will be nourished and supported well.
Wonderful. Great advice there. And we can see from the foods that you listed, there's a lot of high fiber foods, high protein, fresh fruits and vegetables and spices to aid digestion in general, right? So and of course, good fats at this stage as well. All really important. And of course, I just want to touch on alcohol because our liver is under a lot of pressure during this phase, right? In perimenopause, processing the hormonal imbalances and so on. So it's really important to limit alcohol.
Of course, Ayurveda never say no to anything because, even in Ayurveda, we talk a lot about alcoholic preparations, and there are specific chapters given in the root textbooks about how much alcohol a person can consume. So as you mentioned, Colette, we never ask people to completely stay away from alcohol unless if they have any liver issues or any pitta related imbalances. If a woman, she takes a glass of wine, and if she's facing like acidity or night sweats or hot flashes, then maybe like we will suggest, okay, minimize it or reduce it or stay away from that. So watch out. Which one is causing imbalances? Sometimes it will be a cup of milk that causes breakouts or hormonal imbalances, or it can be a glass of wine. So look at your diet and look at your imbalances. If you can make out which one is causing an issue or triggering some health issues, try not to consume it. Otherwise, Ayurveda offers everything, but optimally. So you have to, you should be able to draw a line. This much is sufficient for me. I don't need more than that. Then everything is fine. Minimize the consumption.
Yeah. And I think with alcohol as well, it's how you're having it. Like, have it when it's in, a celebration or a joyful atmosphere, rather than using it as a crutch for stress relief or to help you get to sleep. But it's how you're consuming it as well, right? That's really important.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. So much great advice here, Vaidya Sheena. And as we finish up, I'd love for you to talk about, just in summary, how can women view perimenopause as an opportunity, for personal growth? You talked about how it's your companion leaving. And I think sometimes there is this fear or anxiety around this phase. And that's not helpful for anyone to have this fear going into this phase of life. But so if you could give some advice about how women can view this stage as an opportunity for personal growth and renewal, and entering into this exciting phase of the Vata stage of life, the wisdom stage of life, rather than a phase of decline.
Sure. Perimenopausal women, they are the valuable members of the modern society, right? They have knowledge and skills accumulated through life experiences, correct? We should see these qualities as an opportunity and resource. By wholeheartedly accepting that our body is entering a new phase, we should approach it with a lot of enthusiasm and positivity. Adopting a calming and restorative approach can greatly assist us in navigating the body's hormonal changes. By fostering a sense of grounding and relaxation, we can enhance our overall well-being and facilitate a smoother experience in life. Rather than rushing through the later stages of life, we can benefit from a more balanced approach as we enter the new menopausal phase. And, many women, they say that, we are getting older. After menopause, there'll be a lot of health issues. I'm worried about it. So I tell them no. Because when you were 9 years old or 10 years old, you didn't know anything about the upcoming menarche or how this menstrual cycle is going to be, right? And when you were in your 17 years of age or 18 years of age, how beautifully we enjoyed all the hormonal experiences, right? And why can't we accept the same fact here? Menopause, it's a next phase. A girl baby, when she's born, from then until her death as an old woman, it's the hormone game, right? But it's not a curse. It's a support. So until the menopause, it's the estrogen which rules over the testosterone. And once the menopause is reached, after that, the estrogen levels go down and the testosterone levels goes up. We know that. And we have solutions everywhere. Why can't we utilize it? Because we are representing the mother nature, right? So she knows how to fix our imbalances easily. So just believe in Mother Nature and accept every fact wholeheartedly. So embracing a slower pace can help us navigate this transitional phase with greater ease. And it allows us to manage all the challenges and enhance our overall quality of life.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. Our mindset going into this phase of life has a huge impact on how we experience this. So as you said, looking at this phase with, curiosity, enthusiasm, positivity, we have an opportunity to really connect with our body. So educate yourself, learn more about Ayurveda, learn about your unique constitution, your signs of imbalances, so you can be in the driver's seat through this stage of life, and understanding how to navigate your life and your daily choices in regards to food and lifestyle, exercise, and so on, so that you can have an easier transition. But it's so important that we are really looking at this stage as an opportunity to understand our body more. And again, looking at it with curiosity, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Ayurveda is a journey of awareness, and we have an opportunity of increased awareness during this phase, becoming our own healer and taking charge and responsibility of our choices as well.
Yes.
Dr. Sheena, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And finally, if you could just tell people where they can learn more about you and your offerings at Kerala Ayurveda Academy, that would be great as we finish up.
Okay, thank you so much, Colette. Yeah. So you can go to our website, www.keralaayurveda.us. If you go to our website, you can see about the Wellness Center, then products, and our academy. And if you click on the Wellness Center, you will get all the details regarding the consultations that we offer. You can look at the bio of all the Vaidyas working there, and the Panchakarma treatments and other therapies we offer, seasonal programs, etc. When you click on the products, you will get an access to see all the products that we dispense and all the descriptions and details about the products. And if you go to the academy, you will get all the information regarding the courses that we offer, from the basic courses to the highly advanced Ayurvedic courses.
Wonderful. Great. And I will put all those links in the show notes as well. Vaidya Sheena, it's been such a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom here, and just absolutely appreciate your time today.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Colette, for this opportunity. Much appreciated.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Vaidya Sheena, and please check out the show notes for all the links. As we mentioned in this episode, it's really important to have all this information tailored to your unique constitution. And if you need support on that journey, please check out my online services. I offer online consultations where I put together a strategy for your diet, lifestyle, self-care, and mindfulness that's tailored to you and your lifestyle. I also have my Digestive Reset Cleanse. The next group cleanse starts March 28th. Now, if that date doesn't work for your schedule, you can always do a private cleanse. Both the private and group cleanses have the same structure, just that with a private cleanse, you get to choose your own dates and you have me one-to-one for support. I also have an educational program called the Daily Habits for Holistic Health program, which educates you and helps you implement the daily dinacharya and the seasonal routines, along with lots of education on how to become your own healer. And I combine all my services together in my Reset, Restore, Renew program. Now, I know that's a lot of information, so please check out the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. You'll find a comparison chart there to compare all my services so you can decide what's best for you. If you have any questions before you book, please take advantage of my free 15-minute online services inquiry call. If you think that this episode will be beneficial to family or friends, please share it with them so we can spread this wisdom of Ayurveda. And if you feel like you're getting benefit from this podcast, I would appreciate a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please come join me on social media. My new Instagram page is Elements of Ayurveda Podcast, and on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.